So Intel just launched Panther Lake at CES. Everyone's losing their minds over benchmarks. Oh look, 81 FPS in Cyberpunk on integrated graphics. Cool, whatever. I spent the last 2 days reading every technical document, financial report, and leaked benchmark I could find, and honestly, the gaming performance is the least interesting part of this story. Because 6 months ago, Intel's manufacturing was so broken that Nvidia literally tested their new process and said, "Nah, we're out." Their stock was in the toilet, their CEO got fired mid-turnaround, and now they're shipping chips, millions of them, on the same process Nvidia rejected. So either Intel pulled off a miracle or we're about to watch the biggest tech disaster since the Pentium 4. Okay, real talk. You need to understand what Intel was dealing with. Last August, reports came out that their 18A manufacturing process had yields around 10%. That means for every 10 chips they made, only one worked, the rest. Garbage. You literally cannot run a business like that. Then in December, Nvidia, who had been testing Intel's process, quietly walked away. No announcement, no drama. They just stopped. Industry people I follow were basically writing Intel's obituary. TSMC was celebrating, AMD was laughing. It looked done. Fast forward to January 6th, 3 days ago, Intel launches Panther Lake at CES. Their CFO David Zinsner goes on stage and says yields are sufficient and improving 7% per month. That's industry standard improvement rates. Wait, what? So what changed between Nvidia walks away and we're mass producing chips? Honestly, I don't think we'll know the full story for years. But I have a theory. Intel threw money at the problem, like obscene amounts of money. They expanded their Arizona fab to 10,000 wafers per week. They hired TSMC veterans. They probably bribed every equipment supplier they could find. Did it work? Well, chips are shipping January 27th, so I guess we'll find out. Everyone keeps saying 18A this, 18A that. What does that actually mean? Two things matter. First, ribbon-fed transistors. These replace FinFET transistors that Intel's been using forever. Think of it like going from DVD to Blu-ray. Same idea, way more efficient. Second, power via backside power delivery. Power used to flow through your chip. Now it flows underneath, frees up space, cuts power consumption. Here's why this matters. TSMC took 3 generations to perfect similar tech. Intel tried to do it in one. That's why yields were trash. But here's where it gets interesting. According to Intel's own data, Panther Lake laptops are pulling 55 watts at full load gaming. My current Arrow Lake laptop, 85 watts for worse performance. That's actually impressive, if it's real. Problem is, Intel CFO admitted something hilarious in their earnings call. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Yeah, yields are good enough to ship products, but we're not making money on them yet." Translation: Intel is selling these chips at a loss just to prove they can manufacture them. They won't be profitable until late 2026. That's wild. They're basically saying, "Trust us, we'll figure out the business part later." Alright gamers, here's what you actually need to know. Intel's making a huge deal about the Arc B390 integrated GPU, 12xe 3 cores. Supposedly beats an RTX 4050, 81 FPS in Cyberpunk with upscaling, 109 FPS in F1. Sounds amazing, right? 3 problems. Problem 1, only the expensive chips get that GPU. The Core Ultra X9 388 hours and X7 models, everything else. For Xe3 cores, that's 75% less graphics power, so that $900 laptop you're eyeing. Yeah, it probably has the gimped GPU, read the specs carefully. Problem 2, the software is buggy as hell. Tom's Hardware tested it. XeSS upscaling looks great in some games, absolute trash in others. Cyberpunk had terrible visual artifacts. Monster Hunter Wilds stuttered so bad they couldn't even benchmark it properly. You know what worked better? AMD's FUR, which is free and works on any GPU, so why am I buying Intel again? Problem 3, and this is huge. Multi-frame generation is genius, but only if you already have good frame rates. Panther Lake can do 4x frame generation. 1 real frame, 3 AI-generated frames. That's incredible tech, but here's the catch. If your base frame rate is 30 FPS, generating fake frames just makes it look smoother. You're still playing at 30 FPS input lag. Frame generation is for people who are already at 50-60 FPS and want to push to 120 plus. It's not magic, that said, and I'm being honest here, for casual gaming, this might actually be good enough. If you want a thin laptop that can play games on medium settings without sounding like a jet engine, Panther Lake could be perfect. Just wait for reviews, don't pre-order. AMD's response to this was hilarious. Their senior VP Rahul Tikku did an interview with Tom's Hardware. The guy basically laughed at Intel, quote, "Strix Halo will kill it. It's not even a fair fight, and you know what? On paper, he's right. AMD's Strix Halo chips have way more GPU horsepower. Like, not even close. But here's the thing nobody's saying. Strix Halo doesn't exist for normal people. AMD admitted Strix Halo is niche. Those chips are going into $2,000 plus workstations and high-end gaming laptops. They're expensive, they run hot, and most OEMs aren't using them. Intel's real competition isn't Strix Halo. It's Strix Point, AMD's mainstream chips, the Ryzen AI 9HX 370. And according to Intel's benchmarks, which yes are biased but still, Panther Lake beats Strix Point by 82% in gaming at lower power. If that's true, AMD's in trouble, because AMD's entire value prop for the last few years has been we have better integrated graphics than Intel. Not anymore apparently, I want to see independent benchmarks before I call it. But this could be bad for AMD. Okay, buying advice time. Should you wait for Panther Lake? Buy if you want a thin laptop that games casually, think Stardew Valley, Hades, indie games. If you're sick of gaming laptops that weigh 2.5 kilograms and last 2 hours. If you need good battery life, Intel claims 19 hours web browsing. If you're a creator who occasionally games, don't buy if you're a serious gamer. Just get a laptop with a real GPU. If you already have Lunar Lake or Arrow Lake, the upgrade isn't worth it. If you're on a budget, these will be $1,200 plus for the good models. If you need a laptop today, supply will be limited for months. Wait if you want AMD Strix Halo in Q1 2026. If you're considering framework modular laptops, Panther Lake version rumored Q2. If you want desktop, Panther Lake is mobile only. Nova Lake comes late 2026. Personally, I'm waiting, not because Panther Lake is bad, it looks pretty good, but because first-gen products always have issues. Let someone else beta test it. Here's the uncomfortable truth that tech YouTubers don't talk about. Intel is the only American company making cutting-edge chips in America, TSMC. Taiwan, Samsung. Korea, if geopolitics go sideways, and look, Taiwan is literally under constant threat from China, who makes your laptops, your phones, your data centers. That's why the US government gave Intel $8.9 billion. That's why Panther Lake matters beyond can it run Cyberpunk. But Intel's foundry business is still struggling. They got Microsoft as a customer, Maya 2 AI chips, maybe Apple in 2027. But Nvidia walked, Broadcom walked. Panther Lake is Intel proving they can manufacture at scale. If this fails, Intel's foundry dreams are dead. And then Nvidia, AMD, everyone is 100% dependent on TSMC. Monopolies suck, competition is good. I want Intel to succeed even though I'm not buying their chips yet. Because if Intel dies, we're all screwed. So, final thoughts. Panther Lake is interesting, not amazing, not terrible, interesting. The tech is solid, the gaming performance is better than I expected, the efficiency is genuinely impressive, but the software needs work, the margins suck, AMD's not dead yet, and we still don't know if Intel can actually make money on these chips. This is Intel's comeback attempt, not their victory lap. If you're buying a laptop in 2026, you have real options now. Intel, AMD, Qualcomm, they're all competitive, that's awesome for us, but as an industry story, this is the most interesting thing happening in tech right now. Intel either pulls off the turnaround of the decade or they don't, and we'll know which by end of year. What do you think? Are you waiting for Panther Lake? Buying AMD? Dropping $3,000 on a MacBook instead? Let me know, and if you made it this far, thanks. Hit like if this was useful. I'll see you next time.